I gotta make everything look like aesthetically pleasing now. Gonna piss me off.
As she said.
Oh, and then it just.
No?
What?
Alright. Well, welcome to the Black and Yellow Talking Games podcast. I am
Are
your
you
host,
serious?
Blackatron. I
Are
didn't
you
tell them anything. They have no
are
idea
you
what's going
joshing me,
on.
bro?
I just started it. I didn't even
Oh,
tell them uh, what we're talking about, like what our topic is. I just said, you know what, we're just gonna start it, and I'm just not gonna say shit. And
Same here.
yeah, so I am your host, Blackatron. I already said that. Blackatron
what are you
underscore. You know, the cool guy. The black within the yellow. And next to me is Mr. Sock. A lot of socks. Moheezy, Fisheezy. Um, very dark, just like me. And then below me is Commander Cluck Cluck, Mikey Mark. He's always touching my nipples. I don't like it. We always argue. I tell him to stop, and I get upset. And then next to him is Rakutsu, Nick, Nickelodeon, Nicky Nick, um, Sir Nick, in the nick of time. Uh, I just nicked myself shaving. Okay, I'm done. So.
What was that last one?
You don't question it. You just roll with the punches.
I mean, you can.
No. You don't question it. You never question it. You roll with the punches. Well, yeah. Today we're gonna be talking about childhood anime. Where it all started.
Childhood anime.
Where all of us started with it, because I feel like we're all in different places. Like obviously, everyone can kind of start with saying, "Oh yeah, Dragon Ball." Dragon Ball was like the first, Sailor Moon, all those silly things. But like, what really like got you into this, and why are you still into it? Like, what's
What
so
jump
great about
started
it?
you?
Yeah.
Get you that rocket fuel, you know?
So let me ask you guys, like, was it just something you kind of picked up when you just watching TV one day, or is it like your friends in school talking about this one show that you need to watch, or was it like a family member that was like, oh yeah, you should really watch this? You know, I watched this in Japan and it was great. You know, something like that. Because apparently that happens to people, not me, but it happens to people. Thoughts?
I'm like a culmination of everything but family, because
Same.
you know,
Same here.
uh, it, of course, it's like you start off just watching stuff on TV yourself, and then maybe it's not just a thing you can only watch on TV, and then your friends are like, "Dude, you should totally watch this. You watch this, right? Because I know you watch this." And you just like, because it's that thing where you talk about like cartoons you saw at school
Yeah.
or whatever, just casual conversation. They were like, "Dude," and then he'll be like, "This show. It's about this dude." And he gets like superpowers or whatever. And he just kicks people's butts, and it's like amazing. And it's like, well, I gotta check that out. Where can I watch that? I mean, is it on TV? No, it's not. You can go on the internet and fucking YouTube everything because YouTube is fucking broken back then. Um,
Yeah, you couldn't actually watch anything that was anime on YouTube. Like, I'm
it
pretty
was
sure that was my gateway into getting into subs.
legit game changer.
Anime. Yeah.
Game changer for anime. YouTube was until um, they got some
Got bought out.
structure.
Stuff.
Yeah, and then they got bought out.
Yeah. Because that's how I watched Detective Conan. When I first, like, it first hit me that there was more episodes. Because I remember I hit, like, the cap in, on Adult Swim, and I was like, oh, fuck, I really want more of this. I really want more of this. I thought it was dead. And then years later, I got older, and I'm just on YouTube, and I'm like, oh, yeah, what's that one show I used to like so much? And I'm like, what the fuck? It's on episode 70-something? What? And then I found out, no, I was wrong. It wasn't episode 70-something. It was like 500 and something. And it just blew my mind. And then ever since then, I started watching subbed anime.
Woo!
Other than that, I didn't touch any of it, mostly because majority of the anime I was exposed to started out with Toonami and 4Kids.
That's actually why I watched all my anime as a kid.
4Kids?
I never actually watched anything outside of those. Well, 4Kids and Toonami and all that.
Yeah.
Never actually watched anything outside of that until like high school.
Definitely. Yeah, same thing happened to me. I think that the only reason why I got really like back into it was like late night conversations with me, Loha, and like Putan, because they got me back into manga, because I completely like stopped reading. And then like one day like Putan was like, oh yeah, you should really read what was it? I think it was Kimi no Inomachi, and like Ichigo 100%, shit like that. So like he put me on to all this shit, and I remember like the first night I read Kimi no Uromachi, I read 50 chapters like back to back,
Holy.
and I was just like,
Oh, I actually remember that too. Yeah, that's funny.
yeah, I was like, hey guys, I just woke up. What were you doing on? Reading manga.
Reading.
It's like, bro, you need to chill the hell out.
Dude, nothing's better than like
It's-
that time when we were like reading manga super late at night, and then it was like raining outside or something. It was just nice, soothing. You got some music playing. You're chilling, like
Yeah,
the night would just
you're
go.
like ultimate like binge watcher though. Like out of all the people I know, you're the ultimate binge watcher. Like you just go. Like there is no stop button. There's no breaks. Nothing. You're like you might go pee or something. Maybe like grab a Pop-Tart or whatever the hell.
It's funny because I never saw myself as such, but then when I really look at it, like the numbers show how much I binge watch. Because like I've gone through all of Detective Conan when it was at 700 episodes. I did that shit in like a year. Just kept watching that shit over and over and over. And I watched Haikyuu both seasons within one season of anime. So like a few weeks, I somehow got it done. And no, actually I take that back. So it's 2 seasons of Haikyuu, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, and Steins Gate. In that one season of anime.
See, it's just you just further proving my point here.
Yeah, no, like that's what I'm saying. Like I never thought that was the case because I know people that can watch Netflix for like days and days and days. But then again, at the same time, I'm on like season 7 of The Office right now, and I just started it like 3 weeks ago.
Days and days and days.
All right, yes, I'm a binge watcher. Okay, leave me alone.
I can't do that. I'm like I know of like for Netflix like in general like sometimes like I'll get hooked and I'll watch like maybe like 4 or 5 episodes if it's like an hour-long TV show, and I'll be like, man, that was good. I want to watch more, but I got priorities and shit. Whatever. Uh, when it comes to anime, I distinctly remember Hunter x Hunter after it was like on hiatus or whatever, and I just came back and I was like, okay, where am I? And I was like, boom. I went like a whole maybe like week and a half, and I caught up completely to the end, and I was like, wow, glad I did that.
Yeah, like it's very fulfilling. Like when you do it, it's great. But then it sets in how much time you just wasted. But you enjoyed it, so it's like it's so conflicting. It's like I could have done all this other stuff that would have benefited me, whether it was like, with money or learning a skill or
doing something more productive than
exactly
actually just like filling your brain with.
But instead, you sat there and just were a sponge with all of this shit.
It's not technically a waste. It's like it's feeding your soul.
Yeah. Well, now we're in a place where we can write about what we read or watched. So it's not like we are just wasting our time. And at the same time, when I do that, like when I wrote my first impressions of Black Clover, I wrote it and like the way I wrote it was me talking to one of you guys. Like that's kind of how I wanted it to come out. Like I wanted whoever was reading it to feel like, oh yeah, like when I jump into a Discord channel and I'm like, hey guys, did you watch this? Like when I just talked to Loha earlier, I was like, yo, you watched Juni Tyson? Like that's the kind of conversation that my writing I want it to be. To some degree.
Or you pop in and say Avengers Assemble and pop back out.
That happened once. It won't happen again. I thought we were that close, but now I don't know anymore. Now I don't know. Slightly hurtful. Just a little bit.
Autobots roll out.
No.
Wait, is that what he said when he popped in?
Yeah, he said he popped in.
Oh! Okay, so legitimately.
Yeah, let me explain first before everyone's like, what the fuck are they talking about? So, I came into our Discord channel. This is our Discord channel that we usually record on and, stream on. And when I came in here, I noticed no one was here. And in my head, I was like, well, I know that they're not here because I'm not here. So, I go into our other channel that everyone's in, and I'm like, Avengers Assemble. And as soon as I said Avengers, they were gone. And then I said Assemble, and I was like, what the fuck? Came back and they're already in there. So
okay, from our side, it was Mark, and I was like, oh, I think Kenny's done with this game. So he's like, should we go to the other channel? I was like, all right. As soon as we clicked into the other channel, I heard you say, and then I was like, what?
Same.
That's literally how that worked out. I only stayed there because I was just like finishing up a bit of extra tossing some paint out, and I was just like, "That's fucking funny," because they just left immediately. I didn't even think they heard it.
Yeah.
And
So
apparently, Mark didn't.
No, I heard like the
Barely
very first
didn't.
symbol.
Yep.
Well, syllable. The first letter, even.
Oh,
Not
yeah,
even a
wow.
syllable.
So, you know, one thing I did want to ask initially was like what you guys started with, but another question I want to ask, and I could ask it later, but I kind of want to know, like after thinking about it, I was like, yeah, this is actually a pretty interesting question. What if you were to rewatch all the shows that like got you in anime? Do you think that you would like them still?
Okay,
Like,
I had this in
Some
my
hold
head.
up pretty well.
I had this in my head
Some
before you
hold
even
up
thought
pretty
to
well.
make it.
and do you wish that you could have watched it completely fresh?
Some of them I do.
Yeah, some of them. Definitely
Some
some of
of
them. Some of them like Bebop for sure. Like if I could just not know what's happening and then just keep watching it over and over, I would love it every single time.
I'm lucky because I don't remember Bebop like enough.
I
I can rewatch it and not know
what
much.
what happens is like because I don't because obviously I used to watch it on Adult Swim and I don't remember like typically the start of it and I just like catch like episodes here and there like and then
Mhm.
I remember like the main plot and then I remember the end and I was like wow that's really good.
Yeah.
And I know I'd watch that over and over.
Did you
I
watch the movie?
definitely maybe
It's
I
a really good
remember
movie.
I remember watching it, but I don't remember the contents of it.
Cool beans. Me personally, there are some shows
I would
would.
not watch Inuyasha again. Sorry.
No. No.
Same. Inuyasha was the show
Oh,
that
God.
I still wonder why I did that to myself. Like I think it was on, and because I was already invested, like to a certain degree, I was like, all right, I need to just kind of
I
keep
think-
going.
I think it was like enjoyable to a point because it was like maybe it's because we were children. Yeah, maybe it was because it was children and it was just like
Yasha.
you know, she just gets to go to this fucking fairy world in her fucking well in the back of her house or whatever the fuck. It's like that's cool. I want to do that too. Go to this.
That's
you
what
know,
you initially
That
feel,
was
and,
the
and that's
It's
how
like a
you
lion in the wardrobe, except not a wardrobe.
Exactly.
I think, like, me personally, I would love to rewatch Yu Yu Hakusho completely, like, fresh.
Bro.
Oh, yeah.
Because Yu Yu Hakusho, like, I love how it introduces you to this, like, slice of life as, like, series
Yo.
initially.
Okay, let me tell you. So, they do this thing where it's like, fuck, it's like they give you like the free anime, or whatever. It's like a summer of anime or something like that, and they give you free anime. They give you a free season of anime. So far, I've gotten the first season of DBZ, the Saiyan Saga.
Yep.
I've gotten the first season of Fairy Tail, and something else. And this past summer, I've gotten Yu Yu Hakusho, the first season. I've watched like the first 6 episodes, and it is so slice of life. Like I was like, I don't remember this at all.
Yeah.
It's so fucking funny, dude. I'm like, what is going on?
Yep. Like, once the story, like, fully expands into what it actually is, like,
Yeah.
that's when you really get invested into it. But, like, I really like the idea of not knowing anything. And then just being thrusted into this world of like this
Bruh.
big tournament and everything that happened after. Also,
Yeah.
not just that, but I think Bleach kind of falls in there too, because like with Bleach, I really liked how Soul Society was introduced, and I liked the whole twist where one of the captains, I forgot, Aizen, when he was like murdered, but then he wasn't murdered. You know, he was actually.
I thought you were pausing to not spoil. I was like, motherfucker.
No. There's enough time at this point.
Yeah, it's been
There's more than enough time.
a decade or so.
I'm trying to think
No
of
man,
like
spoilers.
another
Calm down.
show that's super old that I could spoil, but I can't think of one right now.
Dragon Ball
Yeah,
Z.
it's
Turns
fucking
out, Goku's
Voldemort
an
dies.
alien.
Haha!
Piccolo.
You know what's funny? It's like I don't think that ever registered in our heads when I was a kid. Well, you know, speaking for myself, like I just like, oh, okay, like I understand the place. Oh, you're my brother. You know, like I never thought like he was an alien. I was like, oh, well, he looks human, so who the fuck cares?
Yeah, see, that was a shocker for me because
You started with Dragon Ball, right?
Yeah, Dragon Ball. That's what I was gonna say.
Same.
I had adapted the whole Bane quote and everything, and then I never got to use it. So Fuck me.
Sorry.
Anyway. No, that's all right, man. But no, I actually got into Dragon Ball. Fuck, what was this? Dragon Ball. I want to say, what is it?
I miss that series.
Thing, and Sailor Moon, because all the classic stuff from like the '80s like aired in a block, and I got it from like a pirated Filipino channel.
Yeah.
So I got it actually like not even subbed. I got a lot of it dubbed. So
Dubbed in Tagalog?
I didn't get a lot of it dubbed. Sorry. No,
Did you mean the other way?
Yeah, I got a lot of it.
I don't know why I did this.
So,
Like,
was it subbed in Tagalog?
No,
don't mind me.
But even like it was cool because that stuff was censored. And I remember going to the Philippines back in like '97 and watching the show uncensored and being like, "Whoa, they're saying bad words." It's like in Japanese, so it's like the text is in bad words.
See, that's the
Even,
first.
like, the stuff
That
wasn't
feeling comes with etchiness too,
was
right?
crazy. Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah. No, there was-
Bro,
No. You know what
You
I'm
know what
saying?
I want.
Like Tenchi Muyo. When
Yeah.
I first watched Tenchi
Oh,
Muyo, I was
man.
like,
I'm pretty sure
Oh,
that was a lot of our like first like etchy moment animes.
yes. Yes.
Oh,
yes.
No,
God.
Sailor Moon. I'd say Sailor Moon.
Sailor Moon was
wouldn't-
etchy?
Etchy,
There are
no.
moments like,
It was the
alternates
transformation,
and
if you wanna count
that's
that,
not-
You
but-
can't, you can't call that etching.
I can't call
I
that
was
etchy.
never really
The
I was
Hotspur
never really
episodes?
into Sailor Moon.
Oh,
Well,
don't
no,
remember those
it,
actually.
It was like a block. It was like a consecutive hour and a half block, where it was just I want to say fuck. I can't remember if it's called Appleseed or something. Like I can't remember what it was. It's a mecha show.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
Appleseed.
uh,
It's
yeah,
Appleseed
that-
movie.
like that.
Appleseed's one.
Appleseed.
The
Which I honestly forgot because I watched like a weird Gundam. I don't think it was Gundam, but it was like a weird Gundam's knockoff. And then Sailor Moon and Dragon Ball were the ones that like stuck. And I still just remember watching these shows and being like, "Wow, these are shitty people. These are shitty people. Oh wow, Goku's pretty cool. He's an idiot, but he's cool."
Oh, actually, my
You
first
just, like, know what
etchy,
show it is?
my first etchy show was Dragon Ball. Now that I think about it,
Yeah.
fucking Bulma,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
Bulma 24/7. I just realized, and Goku's like dick is everywhere all the time. It's like, oh, he has this small little dick.
Yep.
It's like
Yep. And there's that
super-
gif that always comes out where Goku's like slapping her vagina or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. He had no
I mean, she has
idea.
panties on or whatever, right? I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, why
that
is
was the
that
thing, like,
flat?
he took them all. He took
Where'd
them
your
all.
thing go?
Okay.
And then that's why, like, later on, she goes to Flash Master Roshi
It's-
panties.
Yeah.
She doesn't
And,
realize she doesn't have them on. And, he,
and she's
freaking
like,
loses
she's
his shit.
16 in Dragon Ball.
Yeah, she's like really
She's
young.
16.
Well, like I said earlier,
But
You
I
know-
want to say he was. 8
He
or
was. He was. Yeah, I think he was a 10.
4-4 because there's like every 4 years is a world tournament, right? And I think he was
It's a
16
tournament
for the last
arc.
one where he gets his shit broken. He was 12 for the one before that against Tien Shinhan, and I think he was 8.
yeah, I think like the manga for Dragon Ball, like, all right, so all the mangas that I read when I was younger were mangas I shouldn't have read when I was younger.
Yes.
Like, I read that. I read Inuyasha. And when I say Inuyasha, like, if you read Inuyasha, it's just tits, like, everywhere.
Yep.
There are mad tits
Yep.
in Inuyasha. And,
Do I still have it on my shelf?
Oh,
Chobits. Chobits was my third.
Oh. See, Chobits was different because I actually still was able to comprehend emotions like a normal human being when I read that.
Yeah, but the button was,
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah,
that was
but I mean,
that was something.
The plot of it was sweet because it's like, oh yeah, they can't have sex because then it like wipes away every component of her.
Yeah, some people just don't give a shit.
Yes, no, that was the whole. That was
Hey, man, that's
that
too
was the
old.
point of it. 3, but whatever.
When you think about it, it's like real life, you know?
There's 3 holes, yeah.
Well, yeah, I guess.
Or giving her the D that hard will give her amnesia. Which one are we talking about?
All right. So,
Moving on. Hey, I'm surprised no one's here's mentioned freaking Rurouni Kenshin.
so that's something I do want to mention. Rurouni Kenshin was
violent. It was hella violent.
well with Rurouni Kenshin. Like, I didn't touch it until it was on Toonami, and when I did watch it on Toonami, it was definitely one of my favorite shows.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it was in the airing time where Dragon Ball Z was in the
It's
Cell
probably
arc.
Namek.
No,
Yeah.
it was like leading to Cell at least. and trying to think what the other shows were. I don't know, but yeah, like that show. When I got into subbed anime, I also learned that there was a lot of episodes I didn't watch from Rurouni Kenshin, so I got to rewatch those as well. So that was nice. But when I think back to some of the first like anime I've ever watched and manga I've ever read, one comes to mind as something I really shouldn't have touched when I was younger. Was Akira. Akira. I was way too young to know what the fuck was going on. But
holy shit!
I fucking watched it and read it. Well, that was like one of the first manga I ever took out of a library, and I feel like they shouldn't have let me. They probably thought it was like for kids or something.
Oh,
like,
it's a comic book. It's for kids. It's fine.
What's funny about America is back in the 70s into the 80s, there was like a rating system that was installed in comic books because like people started doing like weird snuff sex comics and shit. And people were like, oh, this is fucking inappropriate for children. After like half a century, like back in the 20s, when people would do like Batman, Superman, Captain America, super patriotic comics. So back in the 70s and 80s, they put this for like 15 years. They had like a stamp of like no drugs, no sex, no violence. It's approved, like family approved, kind of like the parental advisory stickers on music in the 90s.
Yeah.
Eventually, there was like a Spider-Man comic, I want to say, where they had a scene where it's like this guy dies of a drug overdose, and it's like, don't do drugs, kids. And the government's like, well, you guys reference drugs, so we can't put it in. And I don't know if it was Stan Lee or someone else who was like, Stan Lee basically says, fuck you, I don't care. And then they just go without it. So I think at that point, people stopped giving a shit about like ratings and comics. So manga was, especially when like we were kids, like in the 2000s, considered just an extension of comic books. Which is why up until like the mid 2000s to like fairly recently, you could still go into like a Borders or whatever fucking bookstores still exist.
Oh man, I love Borders.
And have shit with titties in it.
Yep, mad titties.
Dude, Borders was my shit in middle school when I was a fucking mall rat with my friends. We'd go to the mall every day and go to Borders.
Yeah.
Right?
I think when ours closed down, me and Dale went. And this is back when Dale was like balling for no reason. I don't know why, but he had a lot of money. So we were there. He was balling for no reason. I still don't understand why, but he had a lot of money. So
that's
when
Dale. Dale is like the most random of dudes.
I guess so. Well, we got there and they were having a deal. Like it was, I guess this is when they were closing down and everything. So they had like a whole bunch of like anime movies and like books and shit for sale. And he bought, like, all the ones I wanted and all the ones he wanted. And I was just like, what the fuck, dude?
I was like, yo, bro, why you balling?
Yeah, like, I just didn't understand. But at the same time, I'm not going to complain. Like, I got a Case Closed movie. I still have it. And I got one of the Bleach movies that I watched once and probably don't really want it anymore. But it's fine. But yeah, like, Borders was the shit. I only go to Barnes & Nobles now to keep it alive. I don't want it to just be Amazon at this point. Because it's probably going to get there someday. Someday. Hopefully not anytime soon. Hopefully.
I'm about to say probably.
So,
shit's dying.
like I mentioned with Akira, like, is there anything that you guys watched way too young? Like, a lot of people, for some odd reason, watch Ninja Scroll at a really young age. And I don't really understand that either.
I don't remember watching that at a young age. I think I was about 16 when I watched that. I think for me, I think it had to be Berserk. I think I was like 12 when I watched that.
Did you what really?
Maybe. Maybe. I'm not entirely sure, but maybe. Let me
It
like
explains
fact check
a lot.
that. When the fuck did Berserk come out?
A while ago, like 97.
89.
Wait.
Original run.
Read or watch?
Wait, that's manga. That's manga. Hold on.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Read or watch?
Shh. 97. You're right. So
Read or
yeah,
watch?
yeah. Maybe I was like 12 or 13 when I watched Berserk. It was pretty.
Okay. There's a lot less rape and child murder and child rape in the anime.
Okay, I remember watching it because fuck, Cause John told me about it. I don't remember
Marx Brothers?
where he got it from. I think. Okay, okay. You know what's funny here? Cause his sister I think bought it for him
That's
for his birthday.
Oh, okay. So you guys don't know John. And Nick might.
maybe.
Maybe.
Which
I don't
John?
know. John, I forgot what his gamer tag was.
Salsa.
He was,
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we played Call of Duty back. I
Yeah,
remember
yeah.
this.
Yep. He's a fiend.
That's the only reason why you would know him. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
literally just Xbox Live.
Yeah, I can't really think of anything else outside of my like scope. Like, I think.
I watched Ghost in the Shell standalone complex when I was like 10, 11.
Bad nudity.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say
That's-
Standalone Complex wasn't that bad. Oh, at 10, never mind.
Yeah.
I take it back.
Yeah.
It's like, never mind, at 10, yeah.
I remember being like in middle school, and there's this one kid that used to come in with like GT VHSs and stuff. Like he was so cool because he was this kid that had like GT VHSs that had like
Yo, that's the dude.
that's so ahead of the game because at this time it was still on like Namek or some shit like that. So I'm like, what is this? I tried it once and I was like, oh man, this is
It's
interesting.
really funny that you mentioned that because there was a time when my brother brought home VHSs with GT on them, and I was
Yeah.
like, and he was like, "Yo, I got that new DVC. You want to watch?" And I was like, "Hell yeah!"
You just don't expect that shit like
It's
at all.
it's really funny.
I had the only VHSs for anime that I actually owned were I had the Bardock movie, the first one, and I also had Pokemon, all of them. And when I say all of them, the ones that were actually good. And
Yeah, the first two.
I only had Pokemon first movie.
Yeah, the 2001.
No, first movie.
I thought
2000's the second one.
Yeah.
2000.
Dude, this
That's
that
why
is
they
fucking-
that's why they called it.
2000 is Mewtwo, right?
No.
No,
What?
the first
No.
one is Mewtwo. 2000 is Lugia.
2000 is the birds. And
Oh,
Lugia.
yes, okay. I'm sorry, listen, I realize now how much of my childhood I've genuinely loved.
I'm just disappointed in you.
Thank
Have
for
you
the
guys
show.
watched the Digimon movie?
Oh my god, yes.
So Digimon movie is one of my favorite movies. Like I think it's at a nostalgia level right now, but like I loved the crap out of it when I first saw it. I thought it was so good, and now that I look into it, like recently, I found out that the director is who he is, and I'm just like, oh, I've watched this guy's work now, and I just didn't realize that the connection. I forgot what
Was the
his name
first
is.
Japanese, or was the first Digimon movie the one where they're back in the real world and the sister finds out like her dumbass getting sick ruined the fucking world?
Yes.
That was the first movie, right?
It's the one where they sing
There's
that one
3 different
popular rock
stories.
song.
Yeah.
Isn't it where the two main dudes Digimon fuse into that one big
Yeah,
thing?
was it
Yeah.
Omni one,
And
whatever.
that's in the real. That's in the real world, though, right? Like
No, they had like a. It was
No,
in
yeah.
the web.
Yeah, this is the one where what's his name, Ty, right? He's like,
yeah.
"Hey guys, I need all your help. Fucking send all these fucking messages or some shit," and then like it powers up their Digimon, and that's how they
Yeah.
fuse.
Oh.
Because they fight inside the internet,
Yeah.
And then
When
Digi
it
Justin for
happens,
season
like,
2
they
got
themselves
ticked
are-
because
and
they
then it's
Yeah.
like, "We're the
Yeah.
kids in America,"
Yeah,
Ah!
yeah. Okay. I couldn't remember the song, but
which
yeah,
is
there you go.
not doesn't make any sense because they're in Japan.
Yeah, well, fuck, dude. Don't
Dub all day.
poke the-
Yeah. That happens a lot with a lot of the dubs.
Oh yeah, no,
Actually,
absolutely.
Well, not even dubs. I'm pretty sure the sub has it as well, and that happens a lot with a lot of like Koi no Kotachi or whatever. A Sound Voice. They have like I forgot what song it was, but they have an American opening, and it just fits real well.
They have whatchamacallit. Fuck, what song was that?
Oh,
Oh,
My
you can do
Generation. My Generation.
Yeah, that one.
And it was really good fit. Like, really good fit. But yeah, the director for Digimon movie. I'm trying to find it. What the fuck? I was just looking at it. Come on. Alright, here it is. The director for the Digimon movie was Hosoda. And Hosoda's done the Wolf Children, He also was the director of the fucking Samurai Shampoo opening. I didn't know that. That's cool. Summer Wars and The Boy and the Beast. Pretty sure. Yep. So when I first heard that that was him, and then I found out that Summer Wars is actually everything he wanted the Digimon movie to be, but he was restricted and couldn't make it to be. So now I want to watch Summer Wars really bad. So I'm gonna have to do that soon.
I still haven't seen that. I need to watch that.
I recently watched Paprika and I was like mind blown. Didn't think that was gonna be as good as it was. So I'm gonna like really go out of my way to watch a lot of like anime movies that I haven't given the attention to. Someday. And is there any anime movies that you watched that you think would still age well at this point?
A movie.
Movies.
Even shows. I
mean-
guess you could say shows too.
Still age well. I gotta hit the list up. Hold
Hamtaro's aged well.
on.
GTO.
Yo, GTO's my shit. I'm still rewatching this shit. Like I take breaks every now and again, but I'm still rewatching it.
I
It's so
watched.
good.
I was talking to a few friends in the other chat, and I was just like, "Yo," like they asked me, they're like, "Kenny, have you ever watched GTO?" I was like, "My boy." That's one of my favorites. Like that's so
My boy.
good.
Teacher
Onizuka.
My boy.
There you go.
Yeah. You'd love it too. I'm pretty. You watched it, right?
Yeah, no, I haven't watched it. I want to, because you guys, I read the
Yes.
article.
You'd love that shit.
Put out.
It is so funny. It's
so
like-
funny.
It's like if you wanna, it's this might be like
Golden
putting it
Boy.
in like in a bad spotlight, but if you wanna like watch this show high, you will crack the fuck up every time.
Golden Boy is a good one.
Well, that's the thing. If you watch Golden Boy, you'd like GTO.
Yeah, that's. I think we had that conversation when I did the article, and I think Loha had the throwback Thursday afterwards, and we were talking about it. And that was a good one. I think that one held through because even though it's very clearly a late '80s, early '90s setting,
Yeah.
it's still really entertaining. And that one I watched both in dubbed and subbed, like back. I rewatched it. Like I'd watch like 2 episodes in English, 2 episodes in Japanese, and I'd be like, oh wow, that's cool. Because there were parts of it I loved in English, and there were parts of it I loved in Japanese. So, goddamn, if that guy, if fucking Kitaro wasn't just the cringiest, most impressive.
See, I just started thinking about like some of the old like long running series I've watched, and like one being Dragon Ball, right? But then I remember Shaman King. Remember Shaman King?
Oh, bro.
And I was just
I
like,
never got into Shaman King,
The
to be
tragedy.
honest.
I
I
really
thought-
liked
I-
Shaman King initially.
I-
thought it was
I
really
never
good.
thought
finished that.
liked it. A
I
lot
had
of
never
people
finished it either, but it was really, really good. I am one of my friends that I went to Borders like every day with was he was a big Shaman King fan. Like he bought the manga, and I was like, yeah, that's dope. And then obviously I
Phil
would
was a
read it.
huge Shaman King fan. Wasn't
Shaman King.
When
was
I
really
went
good.
to, I forgot what state I went to. I went really far away, and I realized that they had the Shaman King Volume 1 because they finally put it in print. I don't know why, but it took forever for them to finally put it in print. And I was like, I'm getting this for Phil, and I gave it to him. He was just like, why'd you buy this? I was like, I thought he'd love it. Oh well. I'm
Sad
sure if he
time.
remembers it,
Sad
but
face, sad face.
whatever. It's fine. But yeah, I'm just trying to think back like all the shows that I watch because like when it comes to 4Kids, I can't really remember what the lineups were on those like that network.
It was like TMNT. It was
No, listen,
Sonic.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was the one of the main ones. I never watched their Sonic. 'Cause
There was Yu-Gi-Oh for sure.
Oh yeah.
Show
Yeah.
move.
I think. I don't like.
Oh my god, they had a Kirby show.
They
that
did have a
that
Kirby
the
show.
best.
It did have a Kirby show.
don't wanna look this
I
up.
believe there was Mega Man 2. I'm not
There
sure.
was a Mega Man. Oh,
Um,
shit. It was not a good one.
a lot of Mega Man should stay as a game.
Yeah, no, that's,
Oh, they had a Sonic show that I really enjoyed watching.
yeah, I didn't like the Sonic one, but that's because I don't like Sonic. so I didn't really care. But yes, there was a Sonic one.
Wait, is this the right one?
I
I don't know
really.
anymore.
There
Well,
was
4Kids was running with was it Fox?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
so both of them are running simultaneously on Saturdays. And what I do is I'd interchange between the two. In the case that like one was running on one channel and the other one was running on the other.
WB, right? And then
Yeah.
WB, it was WB
Yeah.
Kids.
Yeah, exactly. So 4Kids turned Is 4Kids? No. 4Kids isn't Fox Kids. 4Kids was
No. You know what Fox
Yo.
did in true Fox fashion? Fox had a lot of American shows. Like they had shit like The Tick and shit like that. Rusty.
They had Static Shock, I think.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That was Fox? I thought it was Cartoon Network.
No, I think that was.
No, it started out on one of those networks.
Okay.
It started out on one of those networks.
I'm about to hit you guys with something. Do you guys remember Ultimate Muscle?
Nope.
Yes.
Yes. Oh my god.
It was like it wasn't
it
like
on
I
the
was
kid?
into it. I just thought it was really funny, and that's the only reason why I watched it. It's really funny. And one other thing I just saw in there, they had One Piece for a year, which is weird to me.
I did not know that.
One
That
Piece?
one's a weird
Okay,
one.
that confused me because I just looked up 4Kids and the first thing I saw was Fist of the North Star and I was like, no, that is not correct. That
Definitely
was
not correct.
definitely not on there. Back to the Future.
Oh my god, Fighting Foodons. You guys remember
Oh
that?
my god.
Yes.
Fighting Foodons, Jesus.
Oh, okay.
That
I had
was
to look at the picture. Okay.
Fucking. That was the
Fry
caveman,
Ricer!
right? That was the caveman or something like that.
As soon as I saw that name, I know exactly what it is now. Holy shit.
Wait, which one?
That's. Oh my god.
No.
You know, I feel kind of embarrassed
What
to
was-
know. Oh, go ahead.
Yo, I want to watch this again.
I've completely forgotten about Fighting Foodons. Holy shit.
Shit.
What I was thinking of was fuck, what is the one where it's like a caveman and he's like frozen and his dad gets turned into a giant mace. Like his dad gets turned into like a stone mace.
Over my head.
Oh. Wait. Say it again.
It's a caveman who's brought to the future and his father is a stone mace. Like a
Oh,
stone.
caveman. Never mind. I don't know.
Yeah.
It sounded familiar for a second, but I'm not sure.
What was it?
See, I'm just
That's
like
good.
embarrassed of myself for like being such a big fan of like Beyblades when I was younger. Like,
Yo, Beyblades were the shit.
I was
like- Like full
Buying
disclosure, I stole
them.
some of those shits.
I stole some of them. All right.
Statute of limitations.
I didn't steal Beyblades. I stole the launchers.
Why would you steal just a launcher?
No, because I had a Beyblade that was fine, but I stole one of those like big long launchers, like you know the ones that have like the
Oh, the
handle on
long
it.
ripcord?
Yeah, like the long ones like that, and I was just like, alright, cool. You know, like somebody I guess tried to steal it, unwrapped it, and left it there. So one day I just went into Walmart,
There's-
grabbed it, and just left.
Yo, so we were.
I bought a really cheap knockoff one when I was in the Philippines because it had the really long ripcord, and I only bought it for the really long ripcord.
Shit worked out.
So it was Fox Kids. Apparently
Okay.
it was Fox Kids. We were
Fox
Do
Kids.
you guys remember Ronin Warriors?
Yes.
Okay,
No.
so Ronin Warriors, believe it or not, is my first real introduction into anime. Like 100%. Because when I first watched Dragon Ball, it was just the scene where Goku turns ape for the first time. I
Wait, hold on.
watched
Let
that
me-
episode
let me
and I
hit
was
you
like,
with this.
oh.
Let me hit you with this wiki knowledge real quick. Ronin Warriors, known in Japan as legendary armor samurai troopers.
Okay.
Yeah, it's old as fuck. I
Holy
remember it.
shit.
And I actually had the toys. There were toys in America for some odd reason.
Yes.
It must have been really popular or something.
Holy.
It was
They
weird
were
because they were
good
different than regular action figures. They had like this springy thing to them. So like the arms, you can pull them, and there's like a spring inside of it.
Yeah, and it would switch them. It would switch the body around, right?
Yeah,
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking
and
about.
then
Yeah, yeah,
and then
I
you could
had
clip
those
the
for
armor to it.
Power Rangers too. Yeah.
It was so cool. Like, fuck, they don't make toys the way they used to, man.
Bruh. It
They
was
make
an
figures
80s
better though.
It was an 80s anime, and it took a whole decade to appear on the Americans.
I believe it.
Holy shit.
Did I watch this
that
show?
sounds about right. Ronin Warriors? Yeah, probably.
No, no.
Uh,
Another one. I was looking up what Toonami had like back in the day,
how could I
and then I came
forget?
across Outlaw Star.
Yes, Outlaw Star back in the day I watched. Even
Did I watch
How
that? I don't remember if I watched it or
62
not.
on average.
I don't remember watching it. I just remember I know of it because it was yeah. But how could I forget the boy himself, Lupin the Third?
Oh,
I've
yeah,
never
right.
watched it actually.
Oh,
Lupin
The
the
Zoid.
Third.
only reason I was
Zoids!
interested
Oh my
in
god,
it.
Nick, yes.
Zoid.
Gone about Lupin the Third?
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Lupin the Third was like it was. I think it was like the 1 a.m. Adult Swim or like the 12:30 or something like that. It I man, it was just he was just fucking he was stealing shit like all day every day.
Plus, he got a
And
girl that with big titties. That
and
he loves
yeah,
chasing.
and then he had two kind of partners in crime, and then
The
there's
guy
the
with the
one like,
sword, dude. Holy shit.
and then there's the one
Dude
fucking
with the
dumbass
gun.
detective that tries to catch him all the time. It's like, you can't catch me, bro. I'm fucking. My name's Lupin. You just can't catch him.
Yep.
Ah.
Yeah. It looks like the first. I guess there's different eras of Toonami, and I'm like looking
Yeah.
at it right now.
Yes.
And I think I started when it was 1999 to 2000,
Same.
because I don't remember that first one. But like the Tom 1 era, definitely like Gundam Wing,
Okay.
Dragon Ball
Dragon
Z,
Ball Z,
Sailor
Sailor
Moon, Voltron, Robotech.
Can I-
Go
Can I
ahead.
interject?
Go
Was
for it.
there an anime as a kid that you just refused to watch?
Yes.
Sailor
If you
Moon.
watch it again, or
No,
Sailor
no,
Moon.
just like refused to watch as a kid or even now.
Android.
Sailor Moon.
Cyborg 009.
Wow.
Really?
That one too. Yep.
Wow. That one was
You-
like,
I hate
Watch
that
it?
art style. I hate that art style.
yeah, I can agree with that. I don't know if I've
really
ever watched
enjoyed
it.
that
watch
one.
Blackjack. There's someone whose opinion I don't respect at all as a human being, but they loved Blackjack. And if I already does not respect their opinions as a human being, I definitely wouldn't. The second I watched it, I was like, okay, this makes sense that you liked it. That makes absolute fucking sense.
Yeah, I like for me, I think that I just kind of watch anything like at the time because it's not like I had much to do. I was a fucking kid. Like I was either inside the house watching shit or I was on my bike. And you know, unfortunate, but you know, fun fact here is I didn't start riding my bike without training wheels until I was like in 5th grade or some shit like that.
Dude, at least you,
That's not bad.
you know, at least you got a bike.
Well, I had a bike. Someone stole it.
Feels bad, man.
Yep.
Anyways,
It's fine.
my show was Boba Bo 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 Bo.
yeah.
I don't look at that as childhood though. That's like
That's
Like, came out
teens,
when we were,
no?
like, teenagers.
Like that's like a little older than
But
that.
it's
Yeah,
still
that's
fucking
2000s.
Because Bobo
It,
Bobo started like really broadcasting when Teen Titans, like around that.
it's a 2000 show. It's
Yeah.
early 2000s. But it was just like, man, nose hairs.
I just couldn't
for
get
real.
into it because I felt like if I wanted to watch Johnny Bravo, I'd do that.
Also, for me, from the same era as Bobo, IGPX was also airing. I refused to watch the full length series one because I watched the micro series before that, and I enjoyed the micro series more because it was like mech combat, like a tournament of
Oh, it's
fights,
just the racing thing?
and then the full length series was just races. I was like,
Yeah,
why am I watching this?
So I just want to say one of the shows that I watched when I was a little younger that like I'm kind of embarrassed to talk about, but at the same time I don't give a shit. I'm at the age where I just don't care, so I could say it. You remember Totally Spies?
Yes.
I used to watch that
was
shit.
my shit.
Like
Oh,
that
yeah.
show
That was my
and
shit.
Code Lyoko used to come out, and I'm just like,
Code Lyoko I couldn't do because CG is terrible and I can't believe Kenny's saying he watched it.
I watched it, yeah. Yeah, I just didn't watch the CG stuff.
So you,
I did. So you said
wasn't,
was
like, all of
pretty
it CG?
okay. No,
Was it? Didn't we find out that there was a French company that made that?
yeah, it's a Canadian,
Yeah.
So
French
it wasn't
Canadian.
even like an anime.
Nick,
Okay.
Code Lyoko wasn't all CG. Like, you know when they jack into the Matrix and the Matrix?
Yeah.
Imagine the Matrix as CG and then real life is 2D.
Well, if if someone remembered our game of Shadowrun, we'd be able to use a Shadowrun analogy. But
I'm sorry.
the 30 seconds it came
I
into
didn't
play
play
when Nelson
Decker.
almost fucking murdered you all. This
So-
close to just murdering you all.
I don't think like when I
Toy Spies was good though. That was a. that
Toy
and
Spies
the-
isn't that bad. It's not something
Yes.
I should be ashamed of, but it was straight up for girls. Like, it's not something that like. I guess I want to say Sailor Moon falls in the same place because Sailor Moon is
No,
like
Sailor
its
Moon-
own
yeah,
thing.
Sailor Moon is like super left wing.
Yeah,
That's- yeah.
but it was just a show to watch.
We're not left. Wow, why does that left?
Like, I'm trying to think if there's any other show that I can compare it to, but I used to watch that show.
Powerpuff Girls.
Nah,
I watched it.
I couldn't deal with.
You didn't watch it, or I love anything Getty Tartovsky. Like anything he does is I'll give it a shot, and 90% of the time I'll like.
I never felt so conflicted about a character until I seen him.
Oh, him?
Yeah.
Him. Oh.
I never felt so conflicted. And back then we didn't have like Google and shit to just be like, oh yeah, you know, like what is him? Like what is it? It's just one of those things that you just kind of had to like deal with. Like
was okay. I'll give you that one. That was
I could deal with Mojo, like Mojo Jojo, like he's
Yeah.
fine. But I think I really like Dexter over that show. I watched Dexter
I
a
love
lot.
Dexter. Samurai Jack was definitely by and far my favorite.
Woo.
And even like the ending of the newest season and all that shit.
When you guys said Dexter, I thought the Showtime series.
No.
I loved that series. Don't get me started.
Kenny,
What?
never mind. I was about to be real. IR Baboon from Cow and Chicken. That
so-
character I hated. Cow and Chicken I couldn't stand to watch.
Yeah, I don't watch that.
Oh,
Yeah,
Animaniacs.
Cow and Chicken.
I couldn't do
All right,
Animaniacs.
we're getting really far away from it.
I'm sorry.
So no, it's fine.
No,
It's
no,
fine.
no.
It's okay.
Okay.
Because that shows how much like the gap was really like not as prominent as it is now.
We didn't think of it as anything different, and that's why I think a few years ago there was a bit more of a stigma. But just like how back in the day there was a stigma for being a comic book fan, and now it's like super mainstream, I think anime is becoming a lot more mainstream.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think like when I first read Shonen Jump for the very first time, I was pretty young. I think I was like 5th grade or something, and the reason why I remember is 5th grade is because that's when I learned how to ride a bike, and that's where I like busted my ass and almost died. But with Shonen Jump, the reason why I remember it so well is because it was during the Kakashi and Zabuza fight. In that whole moment where like Sasuke turned into like the massive ass shuriken thing. I forgot what exactly it was. But he like tossed it and then he like transformed into it and they did like this cool combo and I was like, oh yeah. So that's where Naruto like that's my first introduction to Naruto. And they had One Piece and Bleach wasn't there. So that's how like long ago this was. And I think it was just Dragon Ball Z, then Yu-Gi-Oh! I'm trying to think what the other stuff were. But like it's kind of crazy how like looking at Shonen Jump and seeing how much they change in generations. Like I can't imagine what somebody who started way back when they had like I'm trying to think what's the name of that really old one. I have J-Star Victory Versus in front of me. I don't know what this guy's name is, but he has like a police outfit on, and I know he's like the oldest, one of the oldest people from Jump.
Oh, fuck. I don't know what he's from either. Oh my
I'd
God.
put it on the camera, but I don't think anyone could see it. This guy.
I recognize that face. I just
Nick
don't
probably
remember.
knows where he's from. I don't remember. He knows.
Yeah, it's
Anime police guy.
It's gonna,
Shonen
it's gonna
Jump.
pop
Put
up.
Shonen Jump,
Yeah.
and you'll find it.
Shonen Jump.
It's gonna pop up.
Nope, not that one.
I'm not gonna fucking pronounce this.
Ten Police Gang. That one.
Kochira Katsuhikaku Kama. I'm done.
Nice try.
I'm just gonna post this in Twitch chat.
All right,
There
that
you go.
works. Katsushika ku Kame Ari. I don't know what the fuck.
This is the
that-
police station
What
from Amari
happened?
Park.
What is this link?
In Katsushika Ward. It's so specific.
Often shortened to Kochikame. There you go. Should have just read that part. You fucking goddamn.
Come on, get the English version, damn it.
I don't read.
Cops. That's what it was. I don't
He
know
programs,
what
he
it was,
doesn't read, man.
Like police gang.
Oh,
something like
okay.
that. Yeah, no, I meant that's.
Oh
Okay.
god.
Yeah.
Anyway, before we wrap, actually, what popped into my mind is, if you could go back in time and just like reach out and like grab old like childhood you, and just yell, "You stupid fuck! Don't do this, that, or the other," and then you had enough time to say, "Okay, now watch this show." What would you tell them?
I tell my
Or if you could like provide that show, like if you could go back in time and like give them a show to watch, what would you watch?
I would
I
have
would go back in time and give young Nick Big Order.
went back in time, walked up to my younger self, smacked him in the back of the head, tell him, "Don't watch School Days, you fuck," and then, and only then, I'd give him My Hero Academia. You know why?
Yo, I would go.
Because it's that fucking good. I can't think of anything else that's like that level of good right now. When I say that level of good, I mean like My Hero will transcend generations. It'll be like the Naruto and One Piece of everything. So I want to be ahead of the game. Or actually, I take it back. I'd give myself the knowledge that I have right now of Detective Conan. Because then I would have been caught up earlier, way earlier. Like, I'm like 100 episodes behind right now. It makes me sad.
That's cheating, because then I'd be like, oh no, I guess.
You'd use Gintama before you actually went out of your way to watch it all.
Yeah, I'd have myself watch something like Gintama.
One
Because,
Piece.
you know
There you
what?
go.
JoJo.
Oh my. Oh, JoJo. Yeah. See, okay. So JoJo's Bizarre. If not both, because I'd be like, listen, you're still probably gonna end up being a completely emotionless, jaded fuck, but maybe it'll be a little bit less if you watch these right now as a child and be happy.
I think for me, like, if I had to really talk to my younger self, I'd probably just tell my younger self, listen, younger self, you should
Invest in
really
Bitcoin.
just take what you enjoy right now and don't dump it down the toilet. Like, don't try to do what everyone else is doing so you can fit in and stuff. Don't try to like avoid being bullied. Like, just fucking like watch anime. Fuck what anyone tells you. Play games. You know, do all that shit. Because I was not doing that. Like, when I was grew up in high school, I just not high school, but like from middle school to high school, I was just kind of trying to fit in and not be a target. So I stopped watching all that shit. I stopped playing games as much or being open about playing games. So
Same here, actually. Like, I would give myself the same advice. Like, I'd be like, "Yo, this is gonna be cool in the future. Keep doing it."
yeah. And then, you know, who knows? Because we could be in completely different light than we are right now, or we could know a lot more people than we do, or be like a lot more immersed into like the whole culture and the community itself.
Yeah,
I
we
wish
could have
I
been,
knew about Crunchyroll way sooner. I wish I was involved in my anime list way sooner so that I can actually track all of my shit accurately. Because
This conversation could have been in the panel at an anime convention right
exactly.
now.
We
No,
could
it's good. Podcast.
Wait, what's the big anime con in LA?
And Anime Expo.
Anime Expo. Yeah, we could have been there like 6 times already.
Yeah, dude. But it's never too late. We'll get there, and hopefully you'll be with us.
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
Things to look out for, though. In all honesty, Mark and I recorded Doki Doki Literature Club, and it
Did
is
you actually?
amazing. You must watch it.
I didn't play that much yet.
Yeah,
I need to go
don't
through the
play
video.
it. Just watch how Mark and I play it.
No, I need to play it myself.
Don't worry, Kenny. It'll be like you're with us. All right.
Lauren will kill me if I don't beat this game.
Don't worry, Kenny. You got this. You got this. Just watch our video. Just post up and then watch the video. All right.
No.
I'll try to get
that
it.
note
As soon as I can.
Lauren, one thing I definitely wish I could get better at is definitely stick with YouTube early on, and then fucking I wish I knew how to social media anywhere near as well as you and Lauren do.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I used
post a
to.
lot.
Then I graduated college.
I don't talk to
damn.
people.
Well, I can tell you right now, ever since I started this internship, I am nowhere near as like social as I used to be. I'm nowhere near it, and it is like bad. I feel bad because like I look at my numbers and I'm just like, holy fuck! Like all the interactions I used to get is just like, completely down. Like I barely even get followers anymore, and that's fine.
I still have social media up, like on my computer when I'm at like work or at home, but I'm never like interacting with things. I like click it and look at it every once in a while, see like people are talking about, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool, and then click away.
Like lately, it's just been for like conversations in general. Like I had a conversation
Same.
with Dill recently. He reached out to me and we're just kind of like talking about stuff, and it was kind of like talking about the perception you have of an anime before you watch it. So like when you first look at like the cover or like the fan base behind a show, and then you watch the show, you're like, oh, it's a completely different kind of show that I didn't even think it was. Like my opinion of Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, I just thought it was like some cheesy ass show. I never thought it would be one of my favorite shows of all time, but it is. So, yeah, that's what happens when you talk to other people that are content creators. You know, you get to have those kinds of conversations. So that's always cool. But yeah, we're gonna wrap it up, and just wanted to say thank you so much for tuning in and listening to us talk about all of our anime times when we were younger and stuff. Next week we're going to be talking about 3-episode test for fall. Pretty sure.
2017.
Yep, it's looking to be a pretty strong season. Some
Yeah,
shows
Oh,
are
handful
going
of
to fall
good
flat.
things.
All right. After last season, just about anything would be as strong, but it is genuinely a very good outlook.
Yeah, I'm kind of scared because I feel like I'm going to drop a lot. I'm at 15. I feel
I
like
know
I'm
I'm gonna
going to
drop a
drop a lot.
few.
You know what? Here's the good thing though. If you drop it, like I'm probably gonna pick up In Another World with my smartphone again because of Karandi. And I mean, if you drop something, it doesn't mean it's dead. It's not a child.
Yeah, it is.
When
It's
I
dead.
drop it, it's dead.
When I drop it, it falls to hell.
Yeah, like I drop it like it's hot, you know. So when I drop it, like it's that's the thing. Like if you do it on my
Let's
anime
continue,
list
let's
too,
continue.
on my anime list, like you can choose to be on hold or drop. So when you say drop, you're like, I'm done with this show forever. I'm never watching it.
Like,
You put on hold, I'll come back to it eventually. You know, once I have like a week to myself and I just want to chill.
It's like the side bitch that you've got who you're like, all right, hold up, see how this goes. And it's
Oh.
Anime is never a side
drop
bitch
and-
for me. I love you.
All right, let's end it.
Well, we're ending it there. Thank you so much for checking us out. We're on all the good stuff, so check us out on YouTube if you're watching it on Twitch right now. If you're listening to it or watching on YouTube, check us out on Twitch, Wednesdays, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. And we're also on iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud. So, yeah, subscribe, like us, all that fun stuff, and come be a part of the conversation next week. So, thank you so much. Later.
Later.